Hi there. This is a video about composite functions. All right, so we've talked about what is a function, how to operate with functions. Now we're going to talk about composite functions, and what I like to say is that these are functions within functions. All right, and if you've ever seen the movie Inception, they talk about dreams within dreams in that movie. And what I like to think of composite functions are incepted functions. Okay, so let's talk about this. You know, we talked about evaluating functions, and I want to do this. I'm going to say let f of x be equal to 3x plus 1, and then g of x, let's have that be x squared. All right, so when we're talking about composite functions here, we want to take another function and plug it into the other function. So what you'll see are a couple things. All right, you'll see this thing called f o g of x. And what this means is that I have f of g of x, meaning that I'm going to take my function here, g, and substitute it into x of my other equation. So really what this is going to look like is this, f of x squared, because f of x squared is, I'm plugging my function g, which is x squared, into my function f. And as a result, what we end up getting is this, is we get 3 times x squared and then plus 1. All right, so if I wanted to write f of g of x, all right, that's going to be 3x squared plus 1. All right, and that itself is a new function, okay? Now, on the contrary, let's find, say, g(of) of x, all right? And what this means is that we're taking g of f of x, meaning that we're plugging our function f into our function g. So really what we have here is we're doing g of 3x plus 1, all right? So we're taking this function here, 3x plus 1, and we're substituting it into x of our other function. All right, so as a result, here's what we're going to get. G of 3x plus 1 is going to give us, let's do 3x plus 1, that quantity, then squared, okay? And so if we wanted to write this out, and I'm going to write this out like this, g of f of x, so g of f of x is equal to, I'm just rewriting this all down here so that I can, you know, make sure everything looks nice and neat. But if I write g of f of x, all right, this means I have 3x plus 1 times 3x plus 1. All right, if we multiply this out, I'm going to get 9x squared plus 3x plus 3x and then plus 1. All right, so then g of f of x, all right, then g of f of x is equal to 9x squared plus 6x plus 1. All right, and that's what we would do on something like that. All right, so similar to what we've been doing, composite functions is kind of just an extension of, you know, what we've already done. It's mainly just writing it like this, you know, plugging that function in, using this notation, and making sure we get that. Now, the other thing that you'll see here is something like this, all right? And I'm just going to do an example for this one, all right? Let's say I wanted to find FOG of, say, oh gosh, let's do 5, okay? And so what that means is that we're really finding f of g of 5, all right? And we can do this a couple different ways. One thing that I'm going to do is I want to calculate g of 5. All right, so g of 5 using my function g of x is equal to x squared. That's just going to give us 5 squared. All right, so then g of 5 is equal to 25. All right, now what I now want to do, because we're finding f of g of 5, because g of 5 is equal to 25, I want to take this and substitute it back in here. So the next thing that I could do is I'm then going to find f of 25, all right, and plug this into my function for f. So this is going to be 3 times 25 and then plus 1. All right, so then that's going to give 75 plus 1, which gives us 76. All right, so f of g of 5, all right, when I evaluate that composite function, I get 76. Now, the other thing that we can do, all right, because we did, I did it the long way of, let's substitute that value into my function g. The y value now becomes my new x value for my function f and evaluate. We can simply just find the composite function that we've already done. All right, because we already know that f of g of x is equal to 3x squared plus 1, if we wanted to find f of g of 5, I could simply plug it into this function and get 3 times 5 squared plus 1. Now, using our order of operations, all right, we get that f of g of 5 is equal to 3 times 25 and then plus 1. So we get 75 plus 1, which gives us 76. So that's the idea of what we're doing, all right, when it comes to composite functions. All right, so, it's plugging one function into the other. It's really understanding just this notation on how that all works, and then evaluating these at a point. You can do those a couple different ways. It kind of depends on what we're doing. I tend to like doing this method, usually, but as long as you're arriving at the same right answer, that's all that matters. So hope you're having a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.